What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the newest collection from Starrily, which is called Haunted Garden. And I'm really excited about these shades because they definitely have a very Halloween-y, almost witchy kind of vibe to them, but they also feel very perfect for just fall winter in general. So before we get into that, if you haven't heard of Starrily before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US, and all of their polishes are 5 free, meaning they are free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They're also vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So they just released this new collection, the Haunted Garden. We've got 5 brand new shades. They're all these super vampy, deep dark colors, and then we also have 1 magnetic shade. So let me just dive into the swatches, then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the collection, my thoughts on Starrily, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Starrily base coat. So I'm going to start off with the magnetic shade. It's called Moonflower, and this is the lightest color in the collection. The rest are these super deep vampy colors, but this one is the outlier. It is a beautiful silvery base, and it is absolutely packed with this shifty iridescent pink shimmer. So I feel like you really get to see all of the colors within it once you magnetize it, but in person I still think it does have a little bit more of an intense pinky shimmer even without the magnetization than it looks on camera. But I did get full coverage in 2 coats. Now the way that I like to magnetize my polishes is I will apply it for full coverage without magnetizing it, and then I'll do 1 extra thick coat and magnetize that, and I feel like that gives me the best magnetization. So I'll show you both ways that I like to magnetize, the first of which is this aura or velvet style, where you kind of just hover the magnet around your nail, and you can see what it does is it actually pulls up all of that silver magnetic pigment, and it almost creates this like 3-dimensional velvety kind of look on the nails, and then underneath it you can see all of that pinky shimmer. So I always just think that's a really cool way to just add a little bit of extra dimensionality to a manicure. But I'm also going to show you the cat eye style, which I think is where you'll really see the pinky shifting shimmer in there. So again, just applying a 3rd coat to magnetize, and then I'm hovering my magnet over it at an angle, and I like to hold it for like 30 to 60 seconds, and you want to apply the magnet again for 30 to 60 seconds after you put your top coat on as well, because the top coat can make that magnetic pigment disperse a little bit. But once I pulled off that magnet, you could see it really gave me a nice sharp line. The magnetic pigment in this is very strong, and you can see that gorgeous silvery gray base color with that intense pinky shimmer, but you still get that extra little 3D magnetic sparkle. So super gorgeous color. Next we have the shade Pumpkin Patch, and this one is actually a black jelly that is packed with multi-chromatic flakies. So we've got a lot of color going on in these flakies. It's pretty much that autumnal combination of colors. Looking at it head on, I mostly see this coppery pink kind of shade, but around the edges I'm seeing orange into yellow and even into green at certain angles. And this is a very buildable formula, but you can see in 2 coats I actually did not have any patchiness at all. The formula of this jelly is so nice that if you do want it to be a little bit less opaque, you can do less coats and it's not going to look patchy on the nails. But in 3 coats it did give me full coverage, and I got that nice deep black color on my nails while still being able to see all of that gorgeous multi-chrome flaky coming through and all of those beautiful colors coming through. It definitely feels like falling leaves, and I just love the intensity of those bright flakes against this very intense black background. Next up we have the shade Wolfsbane, and this one is described as an indigo. It's this very deep blue toned purple. It has a little bit of a jelly-like formula, and then within that we've got this gorgeous iridescent shimmer that head on looks mostly coppery, but again you can see that sort of pinky orange into yellow and then even into green at certain angles as you move your nail around. And I loved the way that this one looked in 2 coats on me. It did give me full coverage, but you could still see that indigo color coming through. You can always put on a 3rd coat if you want it to look like a a mostly black color, I think it would just deepen that base color a little bit more. But I absolutely loved this one in 2 coats. I love that purpley color, so I did keep it like this, and I think it looks really beautiful in full coverage that way. And then we have the shade Corpse Flower, and this is actually a very similar polish to Wolfsbane, but the base color of this one is actually a very warm toned purple, so it's almost like this fuchsia kind of purple color, and that's the jelly base. And then again, we get that iridescent coppery shifting shimmer in there, where you could see a little bit of that pinky color into gold and then even into green at certain extreme angles. And again, just an amazing formula. In 2 coats, I feel like I still got that purpley fuchsia kind of color, and we had all of that intense shimmer running throughout. Now, I don't know if this is just in my head or because the base color is a little bit more similar to that coppery flake, but I do feel like the shimmer in this is slightly bigger. I'm not 100% on that, but it does seem that way. But just out of curiosity, I wanted to put on a 3rd coat just to see what would happen, and it did end up giving me a much deeper color. It looks almost black. In low lighting, it definitely looks like a blackened kind of color, but it also really amps up the intensity of that coppery shimmer when the light hits it. So it does give that sort of lit from within glow that I love to see. So it's fun to be able to have the option whether I want it to be a purple jelly or if I want it to be like an almost black kind of color. And last but definitely not least, we have the shade Black Widow, and this is actually a red to black multi-chrome, but this one has a golden shimmer running throughout that combined with that multi-chromatic base color, it almost looks a little bit greenish to me. And I have to tell you, I see a lot of this black to red multi-chrome these days, and I feel like once you see one, you kind of see them all, and I was not expecting to love this one as much as I did, but something about that gold shimmer in there completely changed the polish for me, and it made it look so different. So as you can see, head on, you get that black color, but it's really packed in with that golden shimmer, and then as I shift my nail around, I see more of that red color, and I can really cycle through the whole rainbow just depending on the angle that my nail is on. But oh my gosh, what a difference that shimmer makes. It adds so much dimension to the polish, and the formula was just impeccable on this. It was so perfect. I had perfect coverage in 2 coats, and I just felt like it was such a deep vampy kind of color, but with that added shimmer, it just made it feel so special. So here are all of the colors together, and I have to say it's a really interesting mix of shades here. We definitely have a big variance in formula, even though a lot of the colors seem like mostly similar shades at first glance. They all have different stuff going on in them. I love being able to have 2 different purples because sometimes I'm in a very cool toned purple mood, sometimes I'm feeling the warm toned purple. And actually, I think the most often that I feel that warm toned purple vibe is this month of October. For whatever reason, it just makes me think of that like fuchsia magenta kind of color story. So I love that. I do love that one outlier magnetic polish with that light color. I love having just a pop of a light color on my nails this time of year because there's just, I don't know, there's something very spectral about it. It's like a little ghosty or maybe like a tombstone kind of vibe, but I definitely appreciate these deep vampy colors with all of the exciting shimmers and flakies going on in them. And I'm really excited to see a unique twist on that black to red multi-chrome. I just think it's really fun. So yeah, let me talk a little bit more about these. So those are the polishes, and as you can see, I really enjoyed these. Aside from just being a Halloween fan in general, I mean, I love a themed collection, especially around this time of year because it is my favorite holiday and my favorite time of year. But I also just love these deep, dark colors for fall and even into winter because there's just something about like an almost black color on your nails, and then when the light hits it, you get just the glow of a shimmer or a flaky in there that makes it feel very special and like lit from within. I also really appreciated having multiple purple options from them because I do happen to think that Starrily makes incredible purples, and I feel like I've been in such a magnetic mood lately, so I really enjoyed that magnetic polish as well. Super, super gorgeous. But yeah, I gotta say, I'm just so excited to see Starrily releasing a bunch of new collections. I feel like for a while they weren't often releasing new sets, and they're definitely such an incredible and underrated brand in my opinion. I think they have such amazing formulas, and I just love the color combinations that they come up with. And I feel like recently just seeing the different types of formulas that they're doing is just very exciting. So love to see it, hope they continue. And I think this collection is just a really great addition to their library. So let's talk about pricing. All of these polishes are available on the Starrily website. They do have what I would consider to be like a medium wide flat brush, and it does have a straight tip, but but I still find application to be very easy. And they do come in 15 milliliter bottles, which I think is pretty big for an indie brand, so you do get a good amount for your money. And on the Starrily website, they retail for $16 USD each. I also do have a discount code, so you can use the code KELLI to get 10% off your order there. So I will link that down below. You can check them out if you're interested. But I'm curious to hear what you think of this collection. Which color is your favorite? What do you think of these almost black or blackened polishes? And what type of season would you wear them for? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my royal astronomer Amanda M, as well as my cosmic admirals Paula, Ken, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Amanda, and Amanda wants to know, when do you start decorating for Halloween, and is it ever too early? So get ready for me to be a huge hypocrite, because I know I just said in my OPI review that I feel like the seasons and the holidays just come too soon, and everybody just gets too excited for the holiday, especially like big box stores. They will put out their Christmas stuff in July, and I feel like it's too fast. But I will say there's an exception to that rule, and that is Halloween. I don't think it's ever too early for Halloween. My only problem is when stuff is already sold out by October, because personally, I do like to wait until October 1st to decorate, just because I like to celebrate the holiday within just the month that the holiday is in. I'm very big on that. I wait until December 1st to decorate for the winter holidays, and I do wait until October 1st to decorate for Halloween. But there are some things that I do keep around the house. Well, now it's a house. It's been an apartment in the past that I just keep around year long, just because I feel like Halloween is also very aligned with my personal sense of style. So there's some things, there's actually, I don't know if you can even see it. There's like a little skull right here that I keep at all times in my background. And I feel like just general stuff like that, like anything that just looks vaguely gothy kind of vibes, I do like to keep out year round. Anything that's like very pumpkin-y, I try to keep out for just October. But I will never judge a person for doing Halloween at any time of year, because I love Halloween vibes. And if it were up to me alone decorating the house, it would all be Halloween all the time. But I do have to also think about what Ryan likes, and he's not as big of a Halloween fan as I am. But yeah, I'm curious when you guys decorate for Halloween, or if you decorate at all. Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.